Now, it is my pleasure to welcome on to Cityline our choreographer for Fiddler on the Roof at Tacoma Little Theatre, Heather Arneson. Welcome.
Thank you.
And sitting next to Heather is Jonathan Bill, who is playing Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof. Jonathan, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you both for being here. This is one of those fun situations where I was originally supposed to be on the couch with them today, but I'm sitting in the host chair, which is always delightful as well. So I'll try not to play too much of the Jekyll and Hyde as we go through the interview questions. But Fiddler on the Roof is such an iconic piece of theater. And as we were looking at our season at Tacoma Little Theatre, we thought, what would be a great show to bring back? The rights just became available again. And the second they were, I said, it's time to bring this one back to our community. It hasn't been here for a long time. And with everything kind of lining up, Hanukkah actually falls on December 25th this year. And also with the world state right now, it's felt like the right moment. And as we looked towards bringing this show to life, I thought we need to tell it right, we need to tell it with care. And so I reached out to Melanie Gladstone to be our director for the show, who is of the Jewish faith, along with Shawna Avinger, who is also Jewish, to bring their lived experience to the show that is also important about that. And then we found the wonderful and amazing Heather Arneson, who Melanie had worked with before and I'd worked with before, to join the production team. And so Heather, what was it like joining this production team?
It was really nice working with Melanie and both with Shawna and just being a part of Tacoma Little Theatre. On the production side, Chris and I worked together at Silas High School, and yeah, just knowing that there was respect from all of us and knowing that we could trust the people on the team to bring the production to the level that we want it to be.
Wonderful. Now, auditions, we had over 100 people audition for the show. What was the audition process like, both Heather and Jonathan, for you as an auditioner? What was that like? That's a lot of people to see.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of people for sure. It made it very difficult to narrow down for callbacks, but there were also people in the room that when they showed up on stage, we pretty much knew right away. Our Golda and Tevye. So.
Oh.
Jonathan, how was it for you?
Well, I wish I'd known that at the time. I'll tell you. There were four of us reading for Tevye, and since Tevye is in nearly every scene except two, we were there. That's the longest audition I've been to, because they had us read with virtually every other character, and it was fun and also nerve-wracking. That's my own problem with auditions. I'm always quite nervous. But it was gratifying to see that many people respond and to the invitation, wanted to be part of this show, because it is such an iconic show, such a special experience. And I'm absolutely honored to have been chosen to have this responsibility, which is, I take quite seriously. And honestly, this has been as an actor, this has been number one on my bucket list for a very long time. So I'm absolutely grateful to the production staff and Melanie for inviting me to do this. It's a real honor.
That's wonderful. What have rehearsals been like?
I want to say fun, but there's always a bit of stress, especially when you do a musical of this size, because there's a ton of moving parts, and the production staff is doing a Herculean job of pulling this all together. I just go out on stage and have fun and sing, but it's a big job. So there, I won't lie. There's been stressful times, but the cast, a lot of times you'll notice the difference from show to show as an actor when a group of people comes together and they start using the term family, and that's happening here, and it's wonderful. It's the script itself and a lot of the ideas behind the drama are about family, and that spreads through a group of actors who previously didn't even know each other, and here we are, calling it, the kids are calling me dad, and it's a wonderful experience.
And a little trivia thing is it's 30 actors in this show, which is the largest cast we've had on the TLT stage since 2014.
Wow.
Which I didn't realize until yesterday when I was going through something. Like, wow, that's okay. We're back to a huge size cast, which is great. And we have from the our youngest is 10?
I think so.
Up to well past retirement age for some of our actors. So it's a great sampling of our entire community. Now, Heather, the choreography of Fiddler is iconic. Can you talk a little bit about its history and how we incorporate it?
Yeah, so Jerome Robbins was the original choreographer, and when the show was staged in 1964, and it was important to us to stay true to his choreography. Part of the rights of Fiddler is also the notation of Jerome Robbins' original choreography, so a lot of time was spent deciphering those notes and trying to figure out exactly how to stage that on TLT's stage and with the cast that we have.
Great. Now, Jonathan, this isn't obviously what you wear every day when you enter around.
No,
I know it's very
I can't
comfy,
say that.
but our fabulous costumers, DCM Costumes, have put all of our wonderful actors in the fabulous pieces for this show. Now, you are embodying Tevye right now, so can you give us a sneak peek of Tevye of some kind of form?
Oh, sure. Tevye has a number of monologues where he speaks directly to the audience. So I love the opening monologue. He explains the image of the fiddler on the roof. Sounds crazy, no? But here in our little village of Anatevka, you might say that every one of us is like a fiddler on the roof, just trying to scratch out a pleasant, simple tune without breaking his neck. And on and on.
And I know that I'm delighted that I get to see that 18 times coming up when the show opens on December 6th. Now, speaking of the show, Jonathan, I know you've kept a very close track on something about the show. I would say, how can you get tickets for the show?
At this point, you just have to get on a waiting list.
That is correct. The show is completely sold out for the entire run before it opens on December 6th. So we do recommend that if you are passionate about wanting to see it, get on that waiting list. I think we also do still have a few volunteer spots open that people can help to sign up and work with concessions and ushering for the show as well. Now, we also have something else fun coming up, and I know Heather and I both work with youth theater in our other jobs as well. And coming up this holiday season, because we're doing Fiddler on the Roof on the main stage, we thought, what would be a great winter break camp? How about Fiddler on the Roof Junior? So we have Fiddler on the Roof Junior coming up for our young ones, grades 1 through 12, and there are still some spots to enroll in that camp. It's directed by Maria Valenzuela, who is a wonderful local director in town, and choreographed by Megan Hicks, who's going to bring a lot of love to the piece as well. And the neat thing about it is our young actors get to play on the big kids stage as well. They get to use the same set and resources that our main stage actors are using. So it's going to be a fabulous production on all levels. And I think so far we're up to around 26 students in that. And I think we have room for about 4 or 5 more. So if you're interested, check out our website, which will also have information about our upcoming classes coming up, which I know Heather's taught some of our classes in the past before. And we love seeing a great selection of students from all around the area in there. Now, one other thing I always like to bring up as we're talking about it is we have heard you at TLT. We know that our restrooms are not the best. So we have launched the Flush campaign, and we are on the way to remodeling our lobby. The last time it was remodeled was the mid-50s when the bathrooms were put in there. We're going to bring it back up to a little bit more of a 21st century standard. So if you'd like more information, be sure to check out our website at TacomaLittleTheatre.com. And as you go to that website, too, you can also find out about the great things that Heather is doing with our Fiddler on the Roof production as choreographer and Jonathan with his role as Tevye in the show. Is there anybody we should thank before we leave our segment today?
You and Melanie. Just for the opportunity. It's been a really awesome experience.
Yeah, Melanie Gladstone has done a fantastic job of pulling a wonderful group of people together, both the cast and production staff, and I can't thank her enough, and also for choosing me to do this, of course.
Well, it takes a village to bring a production together, and so for all the artists who are
Absolutely.
working on it, we thank them for making it happen. Thank you both for being here, and break legs tomorrow on your opening. Coming up next, we have our final segment. We're going to talk with the Boys and Girls Club of South Puget Sound and our special guest who was involved with Inside Out 2, Pixar's recent film. We'll be back in just a moment.